Welcome in everybody to the first episode of a new dynasty here on Retro Bowl College. I've been waiting to film a new one just because this update has been taking a long time, but the new conference realignment is now out. We cannot now move teams around, but the new conferences for 2024 have been set in place. The Pac-12 turning into the Pac-2, the Big Ten becoming the big 15-20. It's absolutely insane. So this is not only going to be a realistic, a more difficult, and a more immersive college experience for Retro Bowl, but we are also going to be playing it with a controller, which is going to add a lot of difficulty to it, honestly, because I'm not super used to it, but it's going to open up the playbook, if you will. Going to give us a lot more opportunities. And with the new updated conferences, we have different teams, because there has been changes to the different, overalls for certain teams. And consider the intro of this video also a what to do now that the new college realignment has been put in place in Retro Bowl College. Many of you guys have used my realistic guide on how to get realistic uniforms, conferences, team names, bowl names, all that stuff. The intro to this video is going to be me figuring it out as well. And if I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. Yes, FCS jerseys will be coming once Retro Bowl College adds simulation. Now, there are some criteria that they want to reach as far as balancing, yada, yada, yada. Once simulation is added to College Retro Bowl, I will be making a new realism guide for FCS jerseys and also updated FBS jerseys as well. I feel like it's weird. Like, when I took control of Vanderbilt, they were god-awful, and then somehow, some way, they actually upset Alabama this year. I feel like maybe I had something to do with that. It would be nice to take control of a team in the bigger conferences, whether it be the SEC or the Big Ten, just because I feel like it'd be fun to have, these newer conferences be used. But we could also use FIU. They have Kennesaw State added to the conference. You know what? I think I'm narrowing it down. Indiana this year has been absolutely elite. I'm going to go with the Michigan State Spartans. Now, the difficulty is going to be set to hard. I would go to extreme, but I think I'm going to only save that for the bowl games, for the ranked opponents. That's going to give us a little bit more realism when it comes to our overall player rankings. If we become too good at some point, we'll definitely switch that to extreme for every team. With just 1 week left in the season, Michigan State has appointed Mike Hunt as their new head coach. No one knows to expect from this untested new arrival. Obviously, if you guys watch the Vanderbilt series, you know what to expect. We do not need a tutorial. We do not need any training wheels. We know exactly what to do here. We're going to go ahead and set the roster at 12 minutes. Kick returns will be on. Team editor, we're going to go ahead and copy the teams from my save that I have all of the edits to. And this is going to be, from this point moving forward, what you guys should do if you need a revised realism guide for the time being until I make a new one. And this is also assuming you've actually used my realism guide. Again, I'll put a link somewhere in this video, but just making sure that every team is in the right spot here. A team like UConn is no longer in the FBS independent. Everyone looks to be in their correct positions. Now, the East-South obviously is not the East-South, so we'll go ahead and change that to the SEC. So that's the first one that we're noticing. All the teams do look accurate and normal. I guess I didn't realize also, isn't it? I think it's just B1G. I don't think I like that for the overall conference game, so we're just going to go with the Big Ten, even though we all know now at this point that the Big Ten is very large at this point. Midwest, is that still what it was? I actually don't know. Pac-12, Mountain West, ACC. We'll go ahead and change it to MAC for now. And if you guys are noticing any specifics that I'm missing and just like looking over right now, let me know. The Boca Raton, the 68 Ventures Bowl, Frisco Bowl. I know that all the New Year's Bowls have stayed the same. Rose Bowl, Sugar Bowl, Peach Bowl. And this is not only a new video when it comes to the new conferences, but this is also the new 12-team playoff being added as well. And since we have chosen a team like Michigan State, if we're able to upset some really good opponents, we might be able to actually make it into the top 12. We're going to do 3-minute quarters. Like I said, we're going to play on hard for all of the non-ranked opponents. There might be more stuff that I'm missing when it comes to conferences. I do need to add Kennesaw State's jerseys. But without further ado, let's switch back to the controller. Let's go ahead and look at the roster. And we've got a pretty solid roster to start. We have an 8 out of 12. I don't know if it usually starts with that. But we have got Marvin Moore, the junior quarterback. Obviously, I would say he has no stats, but he does have stats somehow. I don't know how or why. But Marvin Moore, a decent-looking quarterback overall. Like I said, 2.5 stars, kind of reached his potential at this point. Then we have Baker Diablo, which is an awesome name. He's going to be basically a one and done for us because he's got one more game left. We've got Wanya Needman. And these names are obviously subject to change if you guys have been around. Join the Discord down below and you will be able to take part in this series. Comment in the freshman administration channel on my Discord. Name, faces, and if you want to add a backstory as well, you can do that. And I will be selecting for the next episode. But Wanya Needman, a super high potential freshman tight end. And we got Aldrich Emerson, who will also be leaving after this one game. Then we have Pharaoh Mahomes, maybe Patrick's older, blacker cousin, I suppose. Then we got Pharaoh Ingold, Okay, we cannot be doing Pharaoh and Pharaoh. Out of all the names to choose from, you got 2 Pharaohs on the team. Pretty high overalls as well with a 3.5 and a 4-star potential. Then we got Keaton Shorter, another freshman DB. Tykeem Dobbs, a freshman kicker. So we've actually got a lot of really good solid players on the defensive side, which makes me think that when it comes to actually bringing in talent, that we'll be able to really focus on offense, which is great because that's probably what I would have done anyway. So I am going to go ahead and yearbook all of my players just so that way, you know, we have memory of them once they go on and graduate, once they go on and do amazing things. And now also when it comes to the jerseys, let's go ahead and make sure our ball is set to the accurate one. It's not supposed to be red. I'm just hovering over it. So we have Michigan State's jerseys here. We got those nasty, ugly little lime green ones. Then we've got the blackout jerseys as well. This is kind of going to just be like the last game of the old regime, so it really doesn't matter. Obviously, we want to win every game that we possibly play, as Indy going to drive down the field to start. In this world, Indiana might not be the big juggernaut that they are in real life, but we're going to get our first crack at it with the new kick return, with the new controller, and honestly, I don't think I want to return that. And the first snap is going to be, can I turn around and run? No. How do you scramble at this point? Okay. I think you got to push a different button. Usually you have to throw it behind. Okay, we'll go ahead and run the ball at this point. Hey, we got some moves here. Get out of bounds. Now it's 3rd and 7. We're just starting a little bit quicker than I really was ready for. Tight end over the middle. It's kind of an underthrown pass, but we completed it nonetheless. Maybe I should put the controller thing on in the very beginning just to see. Handoff and aim. How do I scramble? Okay, the buttons are so tight together. We got to make some yards back, I guess. Go ahead and dash up the middle. Look at the speed. 5-yard gain. It's now 3rd and 11 at this point. No audibles either because we're having to play our first game here. And that's an overthrown pass. Might be better off to punt it here, but you know what? The first thing we got to realize when Mike Hunt takes control of a team is he doesn't like to punt the ball. And there's a reason for it because we like to go... we like to go deep. I think I had him beat over the top too, but unfortunately could not get the pass off. We're going to get our ass kicked by Indiana. This is going to be an absolute bloodbath. I just need to figure out how to scramble. I'm going to drop back. Looks like the scramble button is here. Okay, so it's square, or I guess X because I'm playing on... I can switch to a bullet here. Go ahead and throw it to the running back. Very nice moves. Get out of bounds. Okay, well, we got pretty close. I think at this point I've graduated to not needing the controller guide on anymore, as long as I know how to scramble, which look at this. I think I do. I think I figured it out. Now we are unstoppable at this point. Can I throw that into like quadruple coverage? Yes, I can. Another pick. This is going to be a tough for me to really adjust to with the controller. That's going to be partly what makes it difficult. Again, something I didn't really focus on is realistic, you know, downs and distances, 2-point conversions, that type of stuff. I want this to be a realistic, difficult series in a very, very tough conference. The Big Ten only getting tougher at this point. And Michigan State, a team that really hasn't improved too much. Obviously, the freshmen that come in after this game are going to make a big difference. Come on, show me some power. Look at this stiff arm from Diablo trying to get the edge. 2 minutes left here. We're down by 3 scores. Can we maybe show a little bit of life here with a passing game? That's a perfect pass to the outside. Oh, we got that comeback. Did I underthrow it? Yes, I did. 3rd and 4. Got to stand in the pocket. Got to deliver a dart. Got to deliver an absolute seed to our tight end. If we could put a drive together, end this first half with a little bit of momentum, that would be more than fine with me. Can we hit him over the top? Are we going to underthrow that? No, but the cornerbacks have no idea where to go. And in quadruple coverage, penta coverage, we were able to get it for our first touchdown with the new regime. And as I mentioned, realistic points, realistic conversions. In the NFL, they become a little bit more analytical. We got a sack. They missed a field goal. We're going to have a chance to put more points on the board. Sometimes teams go for it when you wouldn't think that they would. That's just becoming a new thing, you know. What does AWS think? Tight end over the top. That's an underthrown pass. It's another interception. We just don't have the arm for it. You know, stamina is at an all-time low. Halfway through the second quarter, we just got nothing. We got no arm strength to save our life. You know, playing a half of football can really be taxing on you. Oh, look at the jukes and jives. Look at the movement from this kick returner. I see that they still haven't fixed the tight end routes. They have them running into the offensive line. There's some things that are going to be changed as the series goes on. You know, as I mentioned, simulation hopefully added at some point. Some balancing that the devs want to do. That's all fine and good. It's just take some time. You know, it is what it is. Go ahead and nail this placement. The cornerbacks literally just have no idea where they're going. Emerson with a nice reception. I mean, we're moving the ball pretty well. We're going to go ahead and just give it a little shovel pass. Maybe we won't put that in the playbook. Maybe we won't keep that play around. A little bullet pass. Nope. Offensive line. Gotta hold up. Offensive line's going to fucking cause me to be an early retirement. As that is a perfect pass to the wide receiver. Converts on 3rd and 17. Keeping the chains moving. Keeping the drive alive. Oh, the no-name tight end, the no-name receiver, I should say, just literally untouched, unscathed. Just must be invisible. The green from Michigan State's jerseys are just blending in with the field. Can we take a one-on-one shot? Show me that you're better. 15-yard gain for Emerson. He's trying to work that draft stock up in the last game, and we can't even hit it out route. That's absolutely insane. I was going to say, he's trying to work his draft stock up. He's trying to show that he is worth a third-round pick, and his team's already giving me an aneurysm. Bullet pass over the middle. Tight end's wide open. Stick skills. That's a doink, and that's absolutely cash. Tyreek Dobbs. Indiana driving down the field. We got a good tackle, and we force a punt. This is what I'm talking about. We got a chance to do something great here. And obviously, throwing the ball would just be an instant interception, so that's not really what I want to do. Go ahead and scramble. We'll take what we can get here. 4-yard gain. Let's get that run game going. We kind of neglected it in the second quarter, third quarter. But this tight end should absolutely cook this DB. That is a perfect pinpoint placement for the quarterback. 2nd and 10 now. Can we do something better? No, we cannot. Why are we running the ball at this point? It's in a passing league. Tight end, however, wide open. Bullet pass, hitting him in stride. He's got a couple men to beat. 22-yard gain. And with 2.5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Oh, why do I have more arm strength than I feel like I had all game? Since when can he throw the ball this far? Just get out of bounds at this point. Look at the scrambling, though. Scrambling is on full display. This looks like a pick. Okay, now my arm strength, I feel like, is back to being short again. That's as far as I could throw it. I swear I could throw it further earlier. We go for 2 and say it's all or nothing at this point. We'll go ahead and kick the extra point. If this was later in the game, I would say no OT for us. No OT for Mike Hunt and company. Maybe the defense can make a stop. We made a stop before. Incomplete, and we're forcing a punt. This is what I'm talking about. 2 minutes left. Team making plays. Cannot run the ball still. Okay, nothing's getting open. Get out of there, buddy. Moore trying to just get as many yards as he possibly can. 4-yard gain. It's going to be 3rd and 7 with 1:37 left in the game. Tight end wide open. Give me a nice block. Look at the seal. Oh, I'm going for the 360. That's something you can't do without a controller, that's for sure. Hit the gap. The running game is just absolutely pathetic. We need to improve this running back ASAP. Thank God he's getting... I was going to say, thank God he's getting drafted. He's not getting drafted. He's going to be, an AT&T director of consumer sales. He's going to be, working on the phones, working on the front line. An American hero, truly, as 3rd and 8 is a conversion. We've got a minute left in this game. Still can't run the ball. I have no idea why. I'm just bashing my head against the wall, trying to get more than a 2-yard gain. And wide open is the tight end. We love to see it. We are making big plays. 30 seconds left. And we were down by 21 points or at least 14 points, and we might have a chance to seal this game. Can we get a hurdle? No, we can't. Still cannot break a tackle with this guy, but if we just manage to not fumble it. What hash do we want to be on? Kicker's warming up. He's got that leg going. What hash are we going to be set for? We don't need to set a hash because we're about to throw an absolute seed. Who the hell was that to? We don't have any timeouts. Oh my God, 2 seconds, 4th down. We are going to have to need a hash. Okay, field goal on the right hash, please. It's moving so fast. Did we get it? We got it. 0 seconds left. Fuck you, IU. The Michigan State Spartans get their first win under Coach Mike Hunt, and that is so much momentum for us. I know it doesn't really matter because it really doesn't matter, but you know what? The program's taken some criticism in the past. It must feel good to get a win. I agree. And we're going to praise the faculty and more. Yes, he threw some interceptions. Yes, he had a couple sacks. We were trying to figure out how to scramble. Really could not figure it out. Tight end had an absolute amazing game, and we get a win. Mike Hunt's first game in charge of Michigan State ends with a win against Indiana. Looks like this new appointment is working out. The Michigan State fans will be looking forward to the next season with a renewed hope. And there's a lot of reasons to be happy. There really is. We're going to go ahead and skip. Alabama beats Georgia in the FBS championship. Southern Illinois beats Villanova. And we are moving on. The senior declarations, the pro draft. Will our quarterback decide to declare? His stats for that game, he threw the ball a lot. 40 attempts is pretty crazy. He will not. He's going to be returning for his senior year. Now, whether we decide to upgrade over him remains to be determined. But, our running back did not get drafted. He was pretty ass. And Emerson gets drafted in the 3rd round by Dallas. So we love to see that. And a new season begins. On top of any donations for your graduating players, you've received $10,000 for the annual alumni endowments. None of these players I want to move on from. I think we could stand to potentially revoke the scholarship from our kicker if we get desperate for $2,000. And then a senior quarterback will give us $6,000. So, is this quarterback somebody that we can win with, Marvin Moore? I guess we'll find out. The tight end as well has a super high upside, but as you see, the sophomores are not really worth a whole lot. Juniors are worth maybe 4,000, 3,000. Okay, and then seniors are worth 6,000. So Moore is somebody that we could potentially move on from, but we will see here. We're going to have hopefully a huge influx of talent here. Okay, we got a couple 4-star players on the defensive side. Amon-Ra Cobb, a freshman quarterback with very elite stats. Marsh as well, Cedric Marsh. Not as much stamina, but a very strong, sure, very sure-handed receiver. And the best overall player that we have at our disposal is Levante Mafi, a very high-strength, high-speed, super supreme athlete at running back. We've also got Blake Diggs here. I think that if we're going to move on from quarterback, we're going to need to take somebody in the later rounds. So it'd probably be someone either Aaron Milano or this Prince fella here who doesn't have the best throwing stats. Or we've also got speed, somebody that doesn't look very good now, but you know, let's go ahead and scout him. I know it seems kind of ridiculous, but we're going to go ahead and see what his potential is. Honestly, decent for 10,000. What does Moore look like? Moore has 8 out of 10 accuracy, 3 out of 10 strength, and 5 out of 10 stamina. So I think getting speed for 12,000 is probably a lateral move. The arm strength could be upgraded at some point, but it would take a while. It might be one of those things where we let the senior quarterback really, you know, start to figure out his own. We've got kind of a game manager as the team builds around him. I say that, but let's go ahead and see what Diggs looks like. Probably gonna be really good, but for 36K, I don't know if we can afford to spend all that money. I think the first thing we got to do is go ahead and take an elite receiver. It's either going to be Reed Leota or it's going to be Cedric Marsh. I'm going to go ahead and scout Cedric Marsh because I want Reed instead. Because I think Reed's speed alone could be absolutely... No, you know what? We're going to go ahead and scout Reed. And that's just about as good as it gets. I mean, his catching could be an 8 out of 10 as a freshman. Speed could be maxed out within the first game or two. I guess we do have 10 scouts because we're not scouting on extreme, we're scouting on hard. So we'll go ahead and scout him as well. And you know what? Better overall, the stamina is going to make a huge difference. We're going to go ahead and take Reed Leota, the almost 4-star freshman receiver. And again, these names subject to change. Be sure to join the Discord. We have over 4,000 members, which is absolutely amazing. Go to the freshman administration tab. It's one of the different channels I have, and give me screenshots of the face, or just tell me what face you want. Tell me the first and last name. Again, you can add a bio if you'd like. Now we have 23K, and again, we have a decent defense, so I think that the majority of this money is going to be spent on the offensive side. Could be to get a running back potentially. Could afford to get a really good offensive lineman. That would just probably be a waste of time, honestly. We're going to have to dig pretty deep if we want a running back. At this point, Kenny Beecham, shout out to King of the Fourth Quarter. He could be somebody that we add. Very high speed. I'm going to go ahead and scout him. You know what? A 2-star running back for this price, not bad. We're going to go ahead and grab him. We got 9 mil left, which again could become 11 mil if we decide to revoke our kicker scholarship. Although with the controller and with realistic going for it on 4th down type stuff and going for extra points versus 2-pointers, it might be a challenge to not have a decent kicker. So something I have to keep my eye on, although we could just upgrade kicker straight up. That seems, again, like just a waste of money. Maybe we go ahead and get a 2-headed attack. We got a little bruiser one game, got a speedster in the other one. We want to make sure we utilize this money the best we possibly can. We've got also 2 DBs in Bowman and Gilmore with 3 scouting options. Whoever's the best potential we could go with. Quattro Bowman, a 3.5-star potential DB. Got very high strength potential. Unfortunately, we can't scout players if we don't have enough money for them, which again is something that I've talked about before. I don't like that because if I wanted to revoke someone's scholarship, let's say a sophomore or a junior, and get 3,000 to potentially take, you know, Wagner or Gold, I couldn't because I don't know what their potential is. It's not worth it for me. I wish you could scout them even if you didn't have the money for it. We'll go ahead and use our last scout on Landry Victor. He's decent, but I think overall we're going to go with this last little plop of money on Quadro Bowman, the DB with a 3.5-star potential. And we have rounded out this team very nicely. We have a running back, a tight end. There was no extra wide receiver that I saw for the price, which is unfortunate because I'd love to have 2 receivers, but we're going to have to be just running with our main stars. We'll have to throw it to the no-name receiver every once in a while. $1,000 left, and that's all we can really do. So we've got all the freshmen. They have arrived to campus, and we're taking on Kansas State, the Wildcats, in week number 1. And the team is going to be led at the helm by freshman receiver out of Johnstown, Ohio, a big swimmer. Loves to swim. He uses those arms very well on the release. What should my quarterback be? If you want to name him after yourself, if you want to name him something ridiculous, if I decide to choose it, you might, you know, have your imprint on this series. That is going to be it for episode 1 of the new realistic rebuild of a new college football dynasty here in Retro Bowl. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in the next one. Take it easy.